Hey, everybody. You are about to hear a brief retelling of the movie The Innocents. Enjoy the movie. A young girl called Ida is in a car with her family, and they relocated since her father accepted a new job there. Ida stares at her sister. Anna is really sad for her since she suffers from a neurological illness that prevents her from speaking. Furthermore, she has involuntary motions and does not feel pain in her body, so their parents take extra care of Anna, but this causes Ida is jealous of her when they all arrive at the new house where they will dwell and continue preparing it. Ida is talking to her mother, and she tells her that she wants to enjoy her vacation instead of moving to a new house. Her mother tells her that she is going to join a new school, where she will meet new friends, and she will enjoy her time very much. Ida asks her to sit with her for a while, but her mother tells her she should sleep and refuses to sit with her, so she goes. On the second day, Ida goes outside to play and for a walk around the neighborhood. But she is bored. Following that, she encounters a little kid her age, Ben. He lives near their house and visits to get to know her. Ben invites her to join him in the woods to play together, and she accepts. When they arrive, Ben informs Ida that he can manipulate items remotely with his thoughts, but she doesn't believe him and mocks him. So he tries to show it to her by having her bring a stone and toss it in front of him. And he will move this stone simply by gazing at it. She throws the stone, but he is unable to move it, so he asks for another opportunity. Ida throws the stone again, but unexpectedly. Ben can move and hurl the stone using only his mind. Ida is both astonished and impressed by this. So she asks him how he does it, and he says he trains a lot for it. She asks him to toss the stone in front of her, and she'll attempt to move it with her mind. He agrees and throws the stone at her, but she can't move it in the meanwhile. Ida informs him that she is also making odd motions. She twists her hands in an unusual style that is impossible for anybody to perform. After that, they spend the entire day playing and laughing together. She comes home and tells her mother and father about Ben, but they are uninterested, as they always are. They also care for her sister Anna immediately after taking her to the doctor. So Ida irritates him and departs. She then walks down to sit alone while upset. By chance, she notices some broken glass on the ground and Ida puts it in her sister's boot to hurt her. Unfortunately, her mother gives the boot to her sister and she doesn't notice the broken glass. On top of that, her sister doesn't say anything because she isn't in pain, so they all go to the doctor, but he notices it. Anna is unable to move, and when she takes off her boots, she finds that her leg is bleeding. They cure her legs fast, but don't know how she was harmed, so they go home. The next day, the mother pushes Ida to accompany her sister outdoors to play, but she does not want anybody to see her with her sister. Ben pays her a visit when she is living with Anna. Ida tells him about her sister's condition, claiming that she virtually doesn't see or feel pain. So they attempt to squeeze and spit on Anna, and when they grow bored, they abandon her and go play together. A young man irritates them while they are playing, so they go to play somewhere else far away from Anna. While they are strolling, a girl called Aisha approaches and sits with Anna. She speaks to her as if she has known her for a long time. At the same time, Ida and Ben are playing in the woods when they notice a cat wandering in front of them. They then come up with a wild notion to take a cat and toss it from the top of the building, and see if the cat will die or live, but when they walk outside to view it, they discover it is dying. Meanwhile, Ben resolves to kill her and free her from her suffering. When Ida realizes he'll do this, she becomes unhappy and emotional. Ida then goes to see her sister, who is startled. Anna isn't there, so she asks everyone where she went until she finds Anna playing with Aisha and notices that they love each other. Ida is concerned about what is going on, so she tells Anna to get up and go home, but Anna refuses to go back with her and prefers to stay with Aisha, so Aisha decides to accompany them. Before they walk to the house, Aisha begs Ida if she can go out with her tomorrow, and Ida says she would try. On the second day, Ida requests her parents to take her sister out. They both agree but are startled because Ida despises going out with her sister. However, Ida goes out with her sister and then brings her to Aisha's house to play. Ida goes hunting for the cat they threw out yesterday, but when she discovers it, she is startled to realize that it is tied up and died in a horrible way, so she chooses to go and sit with him. When Ida goes to see them, she discovers Ben sitting with them. And she discovers them sitting and watching a little dish move by itself from afar. Ida knows this. Ben moves this dish, but he tells her that Anna is doing it. She is astonished by her sister's abilities, so she sits and plays with them. Ben pushes the stone from a distance, and everyone is thrilled. At that point, Ben asks Anna whether she can move the stone like him. But Aisha says she can't do it, which surprises Ida and prompts her to inquire. Aisha reveals to her that she, too, has abilities and can read thoughts. However, she cannot do it with everyone. Furthermore, she cannot speak or read the thoughts of everyone she meets. But, strangely, she can easily connect with Anna, and they understand each other. Ida is pleased by this, and they continue to play with each other and demonstrate their superpowers. Meanwhile, Ida's mother requests that she return home as soon as possible. So Ida bids farewell to them, takes her sister, and goes home. The next day, they all gathered again and continued to play with one another. While they're playing, they make fun of Ben, which irritates him, so he argues with everyone and walks away. Ida realizes Anna's legs are injured and recalls it. Anna claims she is not in agony, but Aisha informs her that she shares their anguish. However, she is unable to communicate it in any way. Ida then proposes that Aisha try to persuade Anna to talk. Aisha is astonished by this notion, so she mentally connects with Anna and instructs her on how to talk. The next day, they all gathered again and continued to play with one another. While they're playing, they make fun of Ben, which irritates him, so he argues with everyone and walks away. Ida realizes Anna's legs are injured and recalls it. Anna claims she is not in agony, but Aisha informs her that she shares their anguish. However, she is unable to communicate it in any way. Ida then proposes that Aisha try to persuade Anna to talk. Aisha is astonished by this notion, so she mentally connects with Anna and instructs her on how to talk. Actually, Anna can speak a few words, which makes everyone delighted. After that, Ida and her sister return home. When their mother discovers Anna's wounds, she clashes with Ida because she did not take proper care of her sister, Ida asks. Anna informs their mother that she is okay and can speak. This time, however, Anna remains silent. Their mother believes Ida is making fun of her sister and yelling at her again. Then Ida enters her bed and remains alone in the meanwhile. Ben sits with his mother in the kitchen, fighting with her. Following that, he uses his might to attack her and burn her leg. When she awakens, she begs him to call an ambulance. But he doesn't care and continues to observe her. The next day, he goes for a walk on the street and accidentally runs into the boy who had previously bothered him, but he is afraid and returns home. Ben wants to take revenge on him and performs some unusual moves till he controls his neighbor. Then he gets his neighbor assault the youngster with a stone to get rid of him. The next day, Ida learns about the accident and travels there, appalled by what she sees. Ben is standing at the scene of the accident and appears odd. Then she approaches him and asks what his problem is. Ben informs her that he has found a new superpower, the ability to manipulate mankind. He can control anyone and make them do whatever he wants, but she doesn't believe him and asks him to prove it. He proceeds to execute the same weird movements as previously, forcing her to walk against her will. Then she believes him, and they go to see a bunch of lads play soccer as they watch. Ben controls one of the boys and fractures his leg. Ida is unaware of what he did, but Aisha is aware due to her telepathy. Meanwhile, Aisha arrives to stop Ben from doing this. But when he sees her, he utilizes his strength and attempts to murder her from a distance. At the same moment, Ida successfully stops him. So he becomes worried and assaults them both, but then Anna appears, and when he sees her, he rushes away since he knows she has the same strength as him, and perhaps even more. When he arrives home, he is enraged by what has occurred and considers murder as a means of retaliation. Aisha knows him well. Ben takes control of Aisha's mother and launches her attack. Aisha then stabs her. When her mother realizes what she has done to her daughter, she falls and attempts to get aid, but it is too late. When Anna realizes what happened to her close buddy, she falls and feels lost. Ida is also sad, so they visit her cemetery. After that, they return home, and Ida attempts to make her sister feel better. Ida understands this well. Ben vows to get rid of him before he gets rid of her and her sister. She considers telling their family what Ben did, but she realizes no one will believe her. Then she vows to exact revenge against herself. On the second day, she goes out alone and delivers Ben a new toy. It appears that she purchased the item to make peace with him. Then he becomes pleased with this, and they continue to play with each other. Ida brings him to a high bridge, where she pretends they would play, while a woman yells at them and warns them to stay away from the bridge. Ida causes him to fall off the bridge before running and hiding in the woods, but he is still alive. Then Ben forces her to walk on the road, where she is going to be hit by a car, but she manages to rescue herself and just her legs are injured. Ida ends up in the hospital with her mother by her side. When Ida recovers, she returns to her house, but she is terrified since she is aware of the situation. Ben wants to kill her after a while. Anna is playing in the lake before their house but notices Ben on the other side. She then stands to exact revenge on him for what he done to her closest buddy. They use their talents to communicate from a distance. Ben initially appears to have the upper hand in this encounter, but Ida rallies behind her sister and assists her in defeating Ben, and the two sisters prevail. Ben gets rid of him, and they both return home happily, and although Ida was first distant from her sister, she now adores her.